Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we are trying to check with Hibernate configuration information here. So we created one mapping file for this particular model class here. So what is the model class we created in the yesterday? So the model class called message here. So basically, this is a simple example we are trying to do. We created like ID and the text. So we are having one more relation with another message here. Getting the point. So today we are going to see the important section here, how we are going to connect it to the database using this particular Hibernate here. And in the last class we created the configuration file. So this particular configuration file contains some information here. Getting the point. So what is it? So as of now, we are not going to discuss more on this particular create and drop. And so this particular dialect we are going to discuss in our upcoming classes. So remaining these four we already identified here. Remaining this particular four we already identified here because we already discussed the string JDBC. The same configuration we are providing here. Right. To connect with the database here, what we need to do, we need this particular four properties here. So if this particular property which is showing here, whenever we are trying to run any insert or update query, so we are going to see the SQL queries information. The generated query information we are going to see on the console. So to understand this, we make as a true here. So this is nothing but connection dot show SQL. Right. So we are going to discuss this particular information in upcoming classes a little bit more. Now, what I want to do, I don't want to use this particular Hibernate example. So this previously we copied here. I want to change it. So to change here, first what we need to do is we need to create a database in the Hibernate. So yesterday we are trying to work on this particular database creation. So we got some exception. We are unable to fix this particular database in yesterday. But I find out the resolution here. So first what we need to do. So basically we need to create a database first. So how we created this particular Hibernate example. Same way we need to create a one more database here. So to create here, and we need to work on this create database here, and we need to specify the database name. Something called, I'm trying to work with the Hibernate TX. Right. So we need to click on the OK. So once we click on the OK, we are going to see one more database here. So with the same name, we can create a one more application here. With the same name, we can create a one more application. Now you can see, so Hibernate EX. Hibernate EX is nothing but one more database we created here. And if you want to work with the same thing here, what we can do, we can create a Hibernate EX here. Basically, that previously the database is not available. Because of this, we are getting an exception here. So Hibernate EX. And we need to specify our password here. So what is the password? We are trying to connect to our database. Now you can see, so we are having the test connection, so which is giving success rate here. Right here and the below you can see the test connection. So it is giving the proper expected output here. Now if I am going to finish, now you can see we are having Hibernate TX1 application created internally one database. So today we are going to work with the Hibernate TX here. So instead of example, we are going to work with the EXA. So this is the way we need to create our schema. Right. So these are the basic information here. So we'll have more information regarding this particular configuration and the mapping file and identify. So inside this particular Hibernate, what I'm doing here, I'm going to create a one more class here. So this is, we are going to call as a Hibernate main. So Hibernate main, inside this particular main, what we are going to do, we'll try to work with some of the configuration information. Getting the point. So to work with the configuration information, first we need a one class here, configuration class. So now we can see we are not having any Hibernate related configuration class. So you can check here, we are not having any Hibernate related configuration. So these are coming from the JDK ORG, some Spring related configuration annotation is showing, and so JavaX.security. Other than this, we don't have configuration. Now what we need to do. So here, inside this particular form.xml, so we need to add Hibernate related job. So to add here, what we need to do, so we need to go to the Maven repository, and inside this particular Maven repository, we need to add so the particular Hibernate core job. So Maven repository, Hibernate core. So we'll try to work on this particular so 6 version. So we can work on the 3 version. Third version we are going to work here. So let me go for the third version. Something we can work on the 354. So this I am going to add inside our form.xml. What I am doing here, I am trying to add this particular Hibernate code. So whenever we are adding this particular Hibernate code, what happening internally? So some of the dependent jobs are going to download it. Now we can see something Hibernate related jobs are downloaded here. Hibernate code. Here we can check here. So once it is completed, now we can check here whether we are getting the configuration class of information or not. So which is taking little bit more time. Okay. Now the download is completed. Go back to this particular Hibernate main. Now again click on the control shift to type here. So type is nothing but control shift T. Now let me add the configuration here. So configuration. Now you can observe org Hibernate CFG. Cutting the point. So this particular class we did not get previously. Now we are able to see this particular configuration information. So it is a class or interface. It is a class here. So now you can see the interface is different and class is different here. The logo is providing the information. So by seeing the logo we can easily understand. So this is a class or interface. Okay, back to here. Basically this is the main class whenever we are trying to work with the Hibernate here. So configuration. Let me import this particular configuration information. Now, so this is a org Hibernate config. This we need to import here. Something called CFG configuration. And now you can understand here. So this particular configuration is a constructor we are trying to return here. After returning this particular constructor, so what happens internally? We are going to get an object information. Which object we are getting here? Configuration object here. So using this particular configuration, I am going to call one more method, something called configure here. Now you can see this particular configure method which is expecting our configuration file here. Our configuration file. Now you can pass like using this particular file object, or you can pass this particular string resource here. So whenever we are trying to pass this particular resource here, so where this particular file needs to exist here, inside this particular class population. So what is the name of the file here? Hibernate.cfg.xml. So this is our configuration file here. Right. Now you can open this particular configuration file. So what is contained here? The database related information is contained. Cutting the point. So the database related information we are able to see. Okay, now we are trying to load the configuration. So after loading this particular configuration, what we need to do? So using this particular configuration object here, we are going to load session factory. So here, each database we are going to have one session factory, and the entire application only one database will contain. We are going to create only one session factory. Okay. So we'll observe more information regarding this particular the core interfaces information inside when we are trying to discuss the architecture. The Hibernate architecture we are going to discuss here. Okay, back to you. Just understand here how we need to execute this particular simple example. Right. Now, for create CFG dot build a session factory. So this particular session factory which is going to return here. Let me add session factory. So basically, normally what we are going to do, using this particular CFG, we are going to call this particular method here. But sometimes what happens here, manually we need to define the return type here. So to make it automatically, so we need to know the shortcut here. So control 1, carrying the one. Whenever we are trying to define any method here, if we want to print, if we want to return the return type of this particular method automatically, what we need to do? So we need to work on the control 1. Cutting the point. So control 1, whenever we are trying to work, so this particular return type will provide automatically. So again, which is asking here, remove the session fact here. But we are not going to remove it because already we provided the return type. So now we worked on the session factory. So from the session factory, we are going to work with the session here. We are going to work with the session here. So let me work on the open session here. Now observe, if I am going to work on the control 1, so we are going to get a session object here. So what is the name of the method we are having based on this particular method? We are going to create a reference variable here. We are going to create a reference variable here. So this is also so important here. Now we provided here open session we are getting. So we'll discuss more information on this particular interfaces and the class information. And observe here we are going to work with the begin transaction. Begin transaction. Cutting the point. After creating this particular transaction, what we are going to do? So we'll try to create an object of our message classes because we need to provide the message information. So what is the message we are going to create? Basically, so work on this particular message here. What I am doing here, I am trying to connect it with the constructor here. So this particular constructor which is going to provide, so welcome to Hibernate. Welcome to Hibernate. So this particular message I want to save. Cutting the point. Now observe how I am trying to save. Session dot save object. So this particular message I want to save. Right. So this is the basic configuration we need to follow, and here we need to commit something called transaction dot commit. And after this, what we can do? Open session dot close. So whatever the session we open, we are trying to close. Right. So let me run the simple example here. What happens internally? So basically, the Hibernate, if it is depending any other just, we are going to get here. And finally, so we are expecting here. So inside this particular configuration, let me open whether I added so mapping file. So we need to change this particular mapping file. We are not going to work with the first one. We are working on the message here. So you can see message.hbm.xml. So this particular message contains what information here? So this particular message contains the table related information. So what is the name of the table we are trying to create, and what are the columns? Getting the point. What are the columns we are trying to get the information we specified inside this particular mapping file. So that is we are going to call as a Hibernate mapping file. Okay, so back to here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to run the simple example here. So click on the run as a Java application. This application is going to launch. So everything is goes successfully. So what we are expecting here, the database, so we are going to see this particular message here. Okay, back to here, basically we are getting an exceptions here. So we need to understand, so what we missed here. We can see, so which is expecting SLF project. So logging framework which is expecting here. Now what I want to do, so if I'm going to found out this particular error, what exactly it is indicating here. You can see, so you can see what is expecting here, one dependency here. Getting the point. So RG is static logger binder. So we need to understand here what is expecting here. So you have included the dependency which will use your application logging. You must also include the implementation does not real logging first here. So this we need to add. So as I explained here, Hibernate which is going to expecting other log4j. Why it is expecting this particular log4j? So basically, whenever we are trying to work with the show underscore SQL or anything, if we want to find out any internal file of this particular Hibernate, so the Hibernate will expecting this log4j because log4j is one of the logging framework here. Getting the point. So we'll have an understand of this particular log4j and SLF4j, I will fill work. So back to here, I think we are going to run the same example. So now, again, we are getting an exception here. So still we are getting method filter. So one more, the class not found we are getting here. So let me find out this particular method filter. So we have the method box, method filter here. So what we need to do? Here we need to add this particular dependency. Here we need to add this particular dependency here. So basically, you can see what exactly this particular dependency will contain. So once it is downloaded, again we are going to run the same example. So this is the way we need to resolve the particular exception whenever we are trying to get any class not found or a class method. So now we can see anything we got here. So we did not get any exceptions here. So now what we are expecting here? So we are expecting here to see the particular message object information. So first we need to see what is the name of the table. Getting the point. This is the configuration, this is our mapping file message. So let me go to the database. So let me refresh one time here. Okay. So we need to check inside the public schema table. We are having message. We are having message. But how we created? So did we write any the DDL command to create the table? So we did not provided anything here because manually we did not write any the DDL here. So like something called the create table name here. So how it's created? With the reference of this particular mapping file, Hibernate is created. Okay. So now what we need to do, we need to understand here whether this particular table will contain the data or not. So select some here message. So let me remove this. Now you can see. So message ID, which is providing 1, and a message text we are getting, welcome to Hibernate. So welcome to Hibernate. Getting the point. So how we are getting here, like how the data is inserted, because of what we are doing here. Now you can see inside this particular, using this particular session factory, we are trying to load the session, and later with the reference of this particular open session.save. Open session.save, what happens internally? We inserted one record into the particular message table. So any questions regarding this particular simple example? No. Okay, so basically I added one more property here. Yes, now you can see. So this is I'm expecting it because we added in the configuration file so underscore SQL. So previously I provided as a connection. So this particular property, it is not related to any connection related property. So this is a Hibernate specific property. So getting the point. So because of this, what we need to do, we need to provide the Hibernate here. So previously we are having connection here. So because of this, we did not get this particular SQL query in our console here. So I changed to the Hibernate here. Now it is working. So what we expecting here. Getting the point. Now you can understand here, insert into message. So this is the simple SQL query generated. So message text here, these are the columns, next to message ID, and this is the message ID. And what is exactly it is contained here. So basically, so this is the sequence generator here. This is the sequence generator is going to call first before inserting any record into the particular table here. And what is exactly contained here? So we're trying to load the max the message ID. So what is the max message ID? With the max ID, which is going to add one more value, the newly added value, which is going to store as the message ID here. Right. Now we can observe if I'm going to run, we are expecting 2 records here. We are expecting 2 records here. So let me, what happened here? Why we are getting on this? Okay, create the, sorry. Here we need to work on the update. So let me run one more time here. Okay. Again, I want to run one more time. So we'll see. So basically, the create of here for each and like how many times you are trying to run the application. Every time, Hibernate is going to create new table. So I change to the update here. Now, so with the existing table here, what is doing here? So I'll try to insert the new records here. So now you can see. So we run the application 3 times here. So we are getting 3 records here. So previously, so what it contained in the configuration file here. Now we can observe. So this particular HBM2 DDL auto, what we make previously, create hyphen drop here. So create hyphen drop, what exactly it will do internally for each request. Getting the point. For each request, the table is recreating for each request here. Getting the point. So even though if the data we are having here, the data we are going to lose, and the table is going to create it with new records here. For each request here, the existing records will going to drop, and the table is going to recreate one more time, and with the new values, the table is going to insert new values here. Getting the point. So because of the drawback here, what I did here, I made as an update here. Whenever we are making this particular update here, what happens internally? So this particular table is not going to recreate, and based on the input here, the table is going to update it here. So because of this particular update here, we are able to see, so these three records here. So this is the purpose of this particular HTML to DDS, which is going to work. And we identified, so why we are adding this particular show underscore SQL. And we need to check with this particular dialect. So basically, dialect is nothing but which is going to generate the query information, whether it is a HPL or a SQL based on the database. Based on the database is going to generate the query. Right. So based on database is nothing but now we are working on the Postgres database. Related to this particular Postgres database here, the specific queries are going to generate. And whenever we are trying to work with Oracle, so Oracle related queries are going to generate. Now here we need to understand here because each and every database will contain the specific syntaxes here. Like insertion or updation and getting or loading and everything. So we are going to have specific syntaxes here. So based on the specific syntaxes here, how it's going to load because of this particular dialect here. Because of this particular dialect, the data is going to the like queries are going to generate here. And the remaining the four properties we already identified here. So we don't want to discuss more on this particular four property. Getting the point. So now we need to check here loading an object here. So how exactly we can load an object here? So to load an object here, what we need to do? Now you can see I want to provide this simple here. Let me comment to this particular code section here. I want to comment this particular code section because we are not going to insert the record one more time here. Okay, so back to here. So with the transaction or session here, what we are going to do? So we'll try to work on the find the method. Open session dot find here. Getting the point. So here I want to add the simple query here. So to load the data from this particular database, we need to add the particular query here. So I want to add HQL. So we'll discuss more information regarding this particular HQL. So from message, right, as them. So order by text is. Now what I'm doing is, so basically, so we are going to load the object using this particular find method. So this particular find is deprecated. So we need to see when this particular find method is deprecated. So you are not finding anything that deprecated information. So basically on top of this particular method, we are going to have one annotation here. So from the which version onwards this particular find method is deprecated. Getting the point. So as of now, we don't have any information here. Okay, back to here. So here I want to provide one shortcut here. So basically, open session is an interface here. Session is a interface here. Now you can see, so icon is going to provide information whether it is an interface or class. Getting the point. So interface can contain the particular declare the method information. But where we are going to find out this particular method implementation. Where we are going to find out this particular method implementation. So inside this particular implementation class, right? So to find out this particular implementation of this method called find here, how we can identify? So just click on this particular on top of this particular method, Control T. Getting the point. So on top of this particular method, click on the Control T. So now you can see session is an interface. This is the implementation class. So using this particular shortcut, we can understand here where this particular method is implemented. Okay. So back to here. Now we need to check here the return type of this particular method. So now I want to click on the control one. So we are going to get a list of here what we are going to get here. So basically we are going to get our message record here. Getting the point. Using this particular find here, what we are going to do. So find dot for each I want to iterate one by one. I want to iterate one by one here. So how we can iterate here? Okay. So what is the source we are working here? So maybe we change to the 1.7. So we cannot work Java 8 features here. Okay. Let me move on to the 1.7 what we use here. And using this particular find here, I want to check with the iterator here. I want to check with the iterator here. Okay. Find dot. Here I want to check iterator dot as next. So what exactly we are expecting here? Okay. Observe carefully. Using this particular iterator section, I want to iterate one by one. And iterator dot next here. Message we are going to put. The message object we are getting. Right. So simply I want to print next to dot get text and next to dot get ID. So we want to print ID and message information. So let me run one more time here to load the object information from the database. So what happens internally while loading this particular message, we are getting an exception here. So no default constructor for entity message. Okay, so we don't have a default constructor here. Let me add the default constructor. So we'll run one more time. Basically, you can see we're trying to see the select query. Select query when we are going to write to load an object from the database, we are going to write the select query. Let me run one more time. So now you can see, welcome to Hibernate. This is the text message, and we are having ID 1, same way ID 2, and ID 3. Getting the point. So these are the three we are going to specify. Like we are having the three records in the database. All the three we are going to load. Getting the point. So this is all about the simple one. But now understand here. So here we are not working with SQL. So the structure query language we are not working with. So this query we are working as a HQL, Hibernate query language. Getting the point. So we'll have a more information on this particular Hibernate query language in the upcoming classes here. But now we need to understand simple example here. So how exactly this particular example is working, how we insert the data using this particular session.save, and how we are trying to load the object using this particular using the find method. Right. So basically, what I want to explain here. So whenever we are not using any ORM tool here, like ORM is tool nothing but Hibernate here. What we are going to do? We are going to work with more on the SQL statements here. So as I explained in the last class, Hibernate is one of the ORM tools. Right. So if we are not working with ORM tool, basically what we are going to write here, so we'll try to focus on the more on the SQL queries here. But whenever we are trying to work with ORM tools like Hibernate here, what we are going to do, we'll try to focus on the more on the HQLs, Hibernate query language here. So right. So we'll observe very more information on this particular HQL here, and we need to discuss more on this particular mapping file here. So what exactly this particular mapping file will contain here? Getting the point. Now we can see, so we are trying to specify the Hibernate mapping 2.0 DTD. Hibernate mapping 2.0 DTD here. So what exactly it contains here? Basically, this particular DTD will contain mapping related information. So along with this particular mapping, let me move on to this. Okay, sorry. So DTD is downloading here. Let me open this particular DTD file. I want to open it in the Notepad++. So this is not responding here. Okay, so back to here. Basically, I'm trying to open the what exactly the information will contain inside this particular DTD. So these are the information will contain like mapping related information, and this is the main tag. So this is the main tag here. Observe, inside this particular Hibernate mapping, we are going to have so these many tags. So we need to specify the class tag here to understand this. So what is the class we are trying to work here, and what is the table we are going to create in the database here, and we identified column here. So we'll have a more information on generator here. So basically, which is going to provide the automatically, like it's going to provide the incremented value. So because of this particular generator, we're able to see on the console. So select to max the message ID. So how we are getting here the max ID because of this particular generator, right? So we'll see what are the different types of generator we are having. Okay, back to here. Observe here. So what exactly this particular DTD file contains here, and I'm trying to provide the. So you can see many to one element we identified. So one to one element we are going to discuss in the upcoming classes. Same way, property we identified. So join classes. So we'll see in the upcoming classes what exactly the join classes here. Right. And so time some version. So discriminator component ID. So element ID we identified here. Same way we are going to check with the class. So these are the tags we are going to see, and we can understand main tag called Hibernate mapping. Getting the point. So these are the information will contain here. We'll have a more information on this particular Hibernate mapping here. So we can check with the package auto import, so default access and everything we are going to discuss schema. So in the real-time application, we are going to work with the package and the schema. Package and the schema. So we'll have a more information on the package and schema when we are trying to define at the Hibernate mapping level. So what are the advantage we are going to get? Getting the point. So right. Back to here. So we identify some of the information which we contain inside this particular So DTD file. Along with the DTD file, we identify the name of this particular mapping file. And after this, we identify the configuration file. So back here, I want to provide one more information here. I want to provide one more information, something called, so let me comment to this particular map section. So using this particular session, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to work with the load here. So what is the class? So we are trying to work with the message.class. Right. So I'm trying to provide the differences here. So how exactly the differences will contain this? You can see the load method is expecting the class as well as ID here. So the ID, how I'm trying to provide. So let me provide this particular ID called 2. And now you can see, so what exactly this particular load method will return. So which is trying to return object here. Getting the point. So which is trying to return object here. Now, so what we need to do? We need to convert into our object style. So what is our object here? We are having something called message. So here, let me add the conversion here. So I converted into object style here. So simply, I want to print these two sections. I want to print this particular two sections here. So instead of next here, I want to change to the load. Now observe how this particular load method is working. So we need to identify here the difference between find method as well as load method. Okay, so type mismatch conversion here. Provided ID, wrong type. So now you can see basically which is expecting long yes, but the compiler is treating as a int. So now to resolve this particular error, what we need to do? So this is a simple Java error. It is not a Hibernate error. So what I need to do to resolve this particular error here? Can you please let me know like what we need to do? No idea? Okay. So basically, whenever we are trying to provide the values, so these values are going to treat it as a integer number. So that be aware of it when we are trying to discuss the Java logical questions perspective. But now to convert here, what we need to do? So basically, here we can go for the long. So directly we cannot work like this because long is a wrapper class. So let me try with the primitive types here. Let me try with the primitive type. So observe what happens internally. So getting the point. Whenever we are trying to converting the particular integer value into long here, so we are able to see the object information. But here we are getting only one object here. We are getting only one object here. So something called welcome to Hibernate, the ID we are getting here. So to load the specific ID based on this, to load the specific object based on this particular ID, what we can do? We can go for this particular load method here. Getting the point. Now observe here what I am trying to do. So using this particular load method, if I am trying to load an object here, so I am trying to set the one more message. So carefully observe what exactly I am trying to do. using this particular reference here, I'm trying to change the message here. Set to text here. Set to text. I want to provide the text message here. So change the message. Right. I'm trying to replace with the text message. Previously we are having welcome to Hibernate. Now I'm trying to replace it. And later what I will do. Now you can see I'm trying to create one more object here. Something called next message. So here I want to provide the next message information. So simply next message. So observe how I'm trying to make the relation here one to one. So basically we are having only one object, but here we are making the internal relation to the same table here. Observe one object I created something called the next message, and what I'm doing is with the reference of the existing object here set to next message. Set next message. I'm trying to provide the next message. Later what I will do. So observe here txt dot txt dot commit. Okay, so I commented the transaction also. Not commit. Getting the point. So this is important here. So what we are doing here. With the reference of this particular same session, we are loading an object and we are trying to, without calling the save here, how the data is going to save. So we need to understand very carefully this section here. Again, I'm going to close the open session information. Observe here what exactly we are expecting here. So we need to see select query. Oh, we are getting violation. Insert or update on the table called message foreign key constant. When a foreign key constant getting there. Oh, why? So what is it we are expecting this? Right. Correct only it's printing here. Update message, set the message text and the new message ID. Update exception. Foreign key constraint here. Okay. The message ID provided about it. Okay. So let me check anything we made wrong here. No. The update query also generating properly only. But why the data is not setting here? Okay. Message of set to text here. And I'm creating the next message. Set the next message and commit. Okay. Okay. So basically, first we need to see the insert here. But we are getting update here. Okay. Why we are getting update? Okay, anything we miss in the configuration file? Get all next message and next message ID. Next message ID. Okay. And the message ID. When later implement to text message text. Okay, we forwarded same thing. But it is not working. Open session and load message download to. Okay, let me save here. So we'll understand here. Next message ID is 0. Okay, we are getting null. Okay, null we are getting here. That means make 0. Insert update on the message while current here. Okay, 0 for the table. Okay. Zero is expecting. Okay, so we'll see. Basically, using this particular record, I'm trying to insert to the next message ID here, but the next message ID we are not getting here. So work on the save or update. Okay, again we are getting update. Why we are not getting the insert message? Okay, so we'll see tomorrow regarding this particular example information. Now, so we'll understand the architecture. So like basically to understand this particular architecture is first what we need to do. So we need to, like we are going to discuss the core interfaces here. Getting the point. So architecture, Hibernate architecture is nothing but we're having the core interfaces, like we are having around 6 core interfaces we are having. So we are going to discuss each and every one, how exactly the core interface is going to work. The first one, as we discussed, the session. Okay, so session is one of the core interface here. So we are going to discuss the core interface, how exactly the interface is going to work. And basically, so these interfaces are going to work in any application here, like in using this particular Hibernate. So what exactly do? So it's going to check with the order to use the persistence application here. Getting the point. Whenever we are trying to work on this particular using this particular core interfaces here, what happens internally? So we need to understand the order of this particular core interfaces, how exactly, so which are going to work. Back to here, basically this particular interfaces, so it's going to do the basic CUD operations here. The basic CUD operations is nothing but we are trying to insert the data, we are trying to update or delete, and we are trying to load the particular dependency table information. Getting the point. So using these interfaces, what exactly we are going to do? We are going to perform the CUD operations here. So what exactly the core interfaces we are going to have? First one is a session and a transaction and a query here. So session, transaction and a query. So these three, these three are going to play very important role when we are trying to perform any CUD operations here. Right. So now we need to check here like what exactly the CUD operations are going to perform. So we'll have in our upcoming classes here because so we'll try to discuss the CUD operation using the query as well as the criteria and using this particular transaction here. Okay. So back to here. So we are discussing this particular. Here is our main class. Okay, sorry. Here. Configuration. So why we are trying to provide this particular configuration as a first executable statement here? Basically, the configuration which is going to play very important role here. Based on this particular configuration file, so which is going to create a connection, which is going to create the connection between our application to the database here. And once the connection is created, using the remaining interfaces, we are going to perform the ingest and update or any other operations here. Getting the point. So because of this, the connection, the configuration which is going to play very important role. Okay, and after this, so we need to discuss some of the callback interfaces here. So what are the callback interfaces we are having here? So something called interceptor. Basically, this interceptor is going to play very important role for the callback here. So we'll have a simple example on this particular callback here. Along with this, we are going to have a life cycle and validatable. We are having three here. So using this particular three callback interfaces, so we are going to get as a how exactly the callback methodology is going to work. We'll have a simple example on this particular interceptor so that we can understand here how this particular callback methodology is going to work. So later, if you observe, we are trying to work with types here. But in the mapping file, what I'm doing here, just simply I'm providing name. The ID I'm providing as a ID. The name of this particular ID, what we provided in our Java class, so the property name we are trying to provide. The particular property will contain the data type here. But how the particular data type is converting into the database column data type here. Getting the point. So if we are trying to providing the Java class data type here, so we need to understand here how the database column data type is converting here. Without specifying here anything, how it is converting here. So these are going to convert it using their having user type and so identifier generator. Using these two, let's provide so user type. So now you can see user type is one of the interfaces. So which is going to convert our user related information whenever we are trying to work with user types here. Is nothing but custom data types. So this particular user type we can implement and we can specify this. So using this particular user type interface here, we can convert. So whatever the type we are having the property, so based on those property, the database columns are going to create it. So along with this particular user type, we are having one more here. So identifier generator. So this is also going to play a very important role whenever we are trying to converting the Java data type into database column type here. Okay, so we'll see more information on this particular user type and identifier generator. Getting the point. So back to here, basically Hibernate is going to work on the layer side here. How exactly these particular layers are going to work. So in the business layer, what we are going to specify here, because in the business layer we are going to specify this. So lifecycle method. So if we want to provide any validation, we are going to specify the validation. And once this particular two completed, we are going to work with the persistence classes. So what are the persistence classes here? So what are the classes are going to communicate with the database to store the data? So those classes we are going to call as a persistence classes here. And later, we are going to work with interceptor and user type. So why we need to use the interceptor and user type is to convert the particular data type into our database column type. And later we are going to work with once the business layer is completed, we are going to work with the persistence layer. So inside this particular persistence layer, what exactly we are going to work is, so the particular session, transaction, and query, something called session factory and configuration. So these are the comes under the persistence layer. So we'll have a simple understanding of the diagrammatic. We are going to create one simple diagram in the tomorrow class, so that we are going to have more understanding. So what exactly the business layer will contain and what exactly the persistence layer will contain. Right. So once this particular layer completed, we are going to have more understanding of the session factory and the session transaction query criteria. So these are the core interfaces. Once these core interfaces are completed, we are going to work on the more persistence example here. Right. So any questions regarding our today's session, except the particular exception here. So basically we are getting the foreign key. So I need to understand here, so why the foreign key is getting. So other than this particular foreign key, any other questions? Okay. So if you don't have anything, so we'll conclude. So same thing, even you can work with the existing table, the same configuration here. Like what are the, like the tables are available in the which database, and so we need to work on this particular mapping is important. So based on this particular mapping only, so we can work on this particular any method, even we go for the find method or load method, or we can call this particular save method. But this particular is going to work based on the mapping, Hibernate mapping here. So this is important here. So if we are not having the Hibernate mapping here, so we cannot work with the existing table here. For the existing table, first we need to create the mapping file, and the particular mapping file we need to provide into the configuration file. So later we can work on that. And in the tomorrow we are going to work with so without using this particular XML configuration file, so using the Hibernate properties file, how we can work on the simple example. So we'll try to check with the properties related examples also in our upcoming classes. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow.